In this Jackery Explorer 1000 portable power station review, I'm going to be providing you some insight into this popular portable power station. Easy to use. The design of this portable power station, with its inputs and outputs, controls and LCD display, make this unit very easy to use. The LCD display provides both a battery bar chart and a percentage indicator of exactly how much charge the battery is holding. The display also shows the total watts being used by the power station, and the total watts coming in, which is useful if you're charging the battery with solar panels, via a wall outlet, or via your vehicle. Also, the unit is basically ready to go right out of the box, and should be charged to around 35% capacity prior to shipping. Refrigerator compatibility. Unlike some portable power stations, the Jackery 1000 does have the ability to charge smaller sized fridges and mini fridges. With a power restriction of 1000 watts or under, you'll be able to power a small fridge or freezer for 24 to 36 hours or so. Lightweight for its size. This unit is pretty reasonable in terms of weight, at 22 pounds or 10 kilograms. This means it can be lifted and moved around your home, campsite, or wherever you're using it as required with relative ease. Multiple outlets. At the front of the Explorer 1000, you have both an AC and DC section. These offer all the inputs you will likely need. The DC section provides 5 inputs, including 2 USB-C power ports and 2 standard USB ports, one of which is a quick charge port. It also has one standard DC port, using an automotive power socket or CLR. The AC section includes 3 times 120 volt residential outlets.
Could you actually replace your gas generator with a battery-powered unit? Well, the answer is yes if it's one of these. This is ECOFLOW's brand new Delta Pro, and this is nothing short of revolutionary. It's not only the most powerful, it's easily the most versatile unit you can buy today. Now, of course, you can charge things like computers and phones, but that's nothing. This can be built into a vehicle with a remote display. You can power 240-volt applications finally in your house, giving you true backup power. And you can start off with just one of these, but if you buy a second, they connect together and it doubles the output to a staggering 7,200 watts. And you can charge this via solar at home, but how about an electric vehicle charging station if you're on the road and maybe you're using one of these in your RV? You can now charge this at up to 3,000 watts for ultra-quick charging. And you can add additional batteries, and they've increased the solar input to 1,200 watts and come up with a brand new panel that's 400 watts each. And the unit looks good on the outside, but inside they're now using lithium iron phosphate batteries. These will give you some of the longest lifespans that you won't have to worry about changing batteries anytime in the near future. But the best feature of all is that the unit is 93% efficient. That means you're going to get more usable power for your money. Here's the biggest game-changing feature in the industry. No one has ever been able to deliver a working 240-volt adapter so that you can power things just like your gas generator. Now this is my Honda, and this 240 volt is a lifesaver because this allows you to connect up into your house. Now you can run things like a well pump, a heater, and much larger loads. Now outside I've already got the 240 volt plug, so I'm going to connect this up just like I would a gasoline generator and see what it could do.
I want to take a look at the SUAOKI G1000 solar generator or power station, whatever it is you want to call it, and see if this is actually a decent unit. I was really surprised when it came out because SUAOKI is kind of a big brand, but they're not a brand that really brings a ton of innovative stuff to the market in my experience. So far, this was their biggest unit that they've released, and I was actually pretty impressed with it at first because it has lithium iron phosphate batteries, which up until now, lithium iron phosphate batteries were really not that common to find. They're becoming more and more common now because of how long they last, but they are very heavy. But I bought this unit so that way I could do some testing, and that way you can know if this is something that may work for you. So stick around for this full review of the SUAOKI G1000 solar generator. And they've been in the game for quite some time, but they've never made anything really that big. So this was their big unit that they made, the G1000, but it's still kind of limited in some ways. The lithium iron phosphate battery is its biggest feature in my opinion. It has about a 1200 watt hour battery, but that's paired with an inverter that's only 1000 watts. Now it is pure sine wave, so that's good, but like I commonly talk about, the most important things in a solar generator are 3 things. The first being, is the inverter big enough to run all of the necessities during an emergency, or RVing, off-gridding, whatever the situation is? Secondly, is the battery capacity large enough to run all of the necessary equipment on a days where you don't have a lot of sun, or at minimum able to get through the night and have some still left in the morning. That way you can get to solar charging and recharge it back up. And then the third, and somewhat debatably the most important of the three, is its solar rechargeability. Unfortunately, the SUAOKI G1000 does not have a lot of solar input. It does have an MPPT charge controller, but it's limited to 150 watts of solar input. Basically, the way you figure this out if it's good enough is you take 150 watts times 5 hours, which is going to give you 750 watt hours produced in a day. That is still much less than the 1200 watt hours of battery that's in here, which means sadly this cannot be charged in a day. Even more so if you were putting that 150 watts in and then also running other equipment, say something simple like a refrigerator, then you're pretty much just going to keep your battery level at the same percentage.
Today we're going to be looking at the new BLUETTI AP200C portable power station. Now this unit has been out in the States for a little while now, however is a brand new product to the Australian market. Now so from all reports, specifications and reviews, if this unit lives up to its reputation, then it's going to be a market leader in this category. So guys, let's start by having a look at this unit here. Now the most apparent observation here is the size of the unit. It's no small unit, and that's just due to the size of the battery and the electronic componentry inside. Now the dimensions of this unit here are 42 centimeters wide by 38 centimeters high by 28 centimeters deep, and it weighs a decent 27 kilos, which is no lightweight. Now when we compare that here with the Honda generator, which is the EU22i model, we're looking at a dimension there of 51 centimeters by 42 centimeters by 29 centimeters deep. Now this also comes in a weight of 24 kilos when you've got that fuel inside and it's ready to run. So you can see here, comparatively, they're very, very similar in their specifications and their dimensions. An observation we can make here with the BLUETTI unit is its shape. We can see here that it is a nice rectangle box type shape, which makes it very, very easy and convenient to pack into the back of your car or into a caravan or trailer. Now it's got two handles inbuilt into that shape here, which makes it super easy to lug around that 27 kilos and also integrates nicely into the design of the unit. The only negative here with the two handles that the BLUETTI has compared to the single handle of the Honda is that it does almost always require a two-hand lift, whereas with the Honda you can just carry this around with one hand. Saying this, however, one complaint I had with the Honda unit is its dimensions and the way in which it's designed. This rounder shape and the narrower depth makes it a little bit unsteady on its space there, and also hard to pack things in or around the unit when you're not using it. The reason I say it's a little bit unsteady is when I had my 105 series Land Cruiser, this unit actually upturned while I was driving, rolled through the back of the car and cracked one of the plastics on the inside of that rear cargo area. Not only that, but it also spilt fuel all over the back of the vehicle and made a big mess. So it's now time to talk about what's inside this unit and what makes it a little bit different from everything else out there on the market. This is where it becomes interesting. So inside this box here, we have a 2000 watt hour lithium iron phosphate battery. So that means that we've got a really, really safe battery in here that's going to hold that voltage all the way down until its reserve cutout. Now this battery is rated at 3000 cycles to 80%. So what that means is that you can charge and discharge this battery 3000 times and it's only going to lose 20% of its battery capacity. So that means that you could charge and discharge this battery every single day for 8 years and you're still going to have 80% capacity of this battery remaining, which is very impressive. So inside this box we also house a 2000 watt pure sine wave inverter, and this inverter is rated for 4800 watts of surge power and 2500 watts for a period of 2 minutes. So again, a very, very healthy and respectable sine wave inverter in there, and we're going to be testing out some devices a little bit later on to see how that performs.